Greetings. In today's session, we will be discussing about assess and site services under the subject head Elective 4 Construction Techniques. According to the precise wording of the condition of contract, the term or phrase assess to site has several meanings and interpretation. Normally, it refers towards the availability of the contractor approach towards the site. This availability will ensure the contractor for providing means of communication, material tracking, labor hutmanship, and other accessories to be collected before the start of any project. We can say its approach to the site as defined in the contract. The second meaning is here handing over the positioning of the total site so that he can occupy the site with all administrative and regulatory powers, and he can run the site according to his own administration. So every time it's not possible for a owner to seek permission for various activities. So here we can give the authority towards the contractor that he can approach towards the respective department and collect the permission and get grants from them and start the work. That we call it as a possession. We can say it as a site possession or possession of the site. Now, if we wants to know what it is necessary to do, the things which we can list for the necessity are the transportation and delivery of construction material, plant, labor, and equipments. For this, there is a access required for the contractor to allow the installation and connection of utility services necessary for the construction and indeed operation of the completed work. To facilitate the contractor in being able to transport, install, connect, deliver all the above, and must be able for contractor at the appropriate times. At any time he can approach to its site and do the things as per his convenience. It must be legally available, taking into account the requirements of obtaining approvals, permission, and meet with any other customers or requirement like subcontractors, the suppliers. So we are going to give him a right to do that thing that we call it as a site possession or site access. Now, where we can say the pictures which are coming below the slides illustrate what sort of permission we are going to provide towards the contractor so as to have a site access. Now, if we want to quote some other meanings here, so this site access is a regulation for the other person who is not involved or which is not connected with the construction work here. So it is said to be a approach towards the construction site. The construction site can be dangerous place as there are number of works going on simultaneously. The level of works are different. The machinery and equipments required are heavy or lightweighted, and a person who is not knowing about what is going at the site, if he comes, then there is a chances of danger to his life. It may cause a heavy injuries or it may sentence the people to death also. In that case, we are going to have a restriction, a warning to the people, you are not able to access this particular area. Likewise, the secondary meaning we can put here in picture related to the uh, provided access to the construction site. The construction site can be dangerous place and only authorized person should be allowed access. Dangers to non-authorized personnel includes falling material or tools. Like the picture here, which clip art here shows that there is a various activity going on, and the person who doesn't know what type of activity is going in surrounding, he comes in contact with that operation, then there will be a chances that he will meet with an accident due to falling of the instruments or equipments. The second part is the falling into trenches. As we know that there are excavation work, it may be done for the foundation or laying out the trenches or many other things. A person who is not aware about the work which is carried out that place, he may be subjected to such a accident. He will get fall into the trenches. Next one, falling from a height. Now this is the regulation which the contractor has to provide for their workman. Falling from a height means person is working on a higher elevation and without any precautionary measures, then there may be chances of that the person may get subjected to a danger and fall from that particular height, leading to the injury or loss in life. The being struck by the moving plant and vehicles means here operation is going on. The clip art at the bottom corner shows that a person is holding a pipe. He is carrying the pipe, but the person who is coming from other direction, he was not knowing about the danger what is going to meet him, and suddenly he gets struck with that equipment, and thereby it causes certain injury. Such a things has to be intimated in earlier, and that intimation we can say the construction site assess. Who can assess this particular area? Standing on a sharp object, like a very narrow strip, and then thereby he may fall, he may subjected to the danger. Coming into contact with the electricity or hazardous material, there may be chances of open wires, open cuts, okay, or open, even though open trenches may be there, and the person who is not knowing about it, he may get fell, or he will get mitigate with an accident there. So this type of restriction, if we provide, we call it as a, we are going to restrict the people who are not concerned with the construction work to approach towards that area, and we say the construction site is there, and movement of vehicle and movement of unauthorized person is banned here. That the third secondary meanings we can take from this particular necessity of why we require access to a site. Thus noise vibration which is caused due to the operation which is going to be done within the premises may have health hazards, thereby we have to provide these warning signs also. So if we take a review of what the things has been happened in past in construction industry, it shows that 56% of the injuries or fatalities has been done with respect to the fall from a height, because the labor who is working at a height without any provisions towards the safety like hangers and any other things, they are going to meet, and many cases we found that 56% the fatalities which has happened on the site contributes towards the falling from a height. The next one is 21% of the total fatalities has been due to the collapsing or overturning of the structural elements, and thereby the person is going to have affect or get what we say hazards with reference to it. Now 3% of the people are going to have the injuries and fatalities with reference to the contact or mishap with the construction equipment at the site. We when we take a look over the electricity supply, sometimes there may be open wires, or sometimes the wire may get clogged, and thereby there the people are come in contact, they have certain injuries, and that we can't we say if it is there the 5% contact with electricity or electrical discharges, fatalities were appearing in construction site. 4% struck by falling objects. Person is working at a certain height, and the person who is moving in the premises, he doesn't know what is the work going on, and suddenly the instrument or equipment or the material falls on his head, and he get injured, and thereby there is a loss to the life, like lifting machine or the other another things which are count to be 4% of the total injuries which happen at a site. 10% being struck by the moving vehicle. People are working in their own equipments. There may be a large sound. He or she may not hear the vehicles which are whistling, which are moving nearby, and thereby causing loss to their life. Then 1% exposed to the hot or harmful substances like during the operation, like cutting, grinding, welding, and thereby having a impact on the health as well as injuries to them. Now, the necessity to provide the site assess in addition to the what we had deal with a technical term, what we had deal with the contractor benefits. In addition to that, the construction site has certain challenges, like the challenges may be their nature and layout is subjected to frequent change. Means here what will happen, there may be modification time to time based on the restriction provided by the local authorities, and thereby there may be changes, and for that we have to put the things. Next one, there is a assess is required by the large number of contractors, suppliers, consultants, and so on. The third one, there are often in highly polluted area, populated areas, thereby we have to take extra care about it. It may be necessary to maintain user access to neighboring site or part of the site itself, and there can be time pressure to complete the work quickly, and based on that we have to provide a securing access to all the component parts of the construction operation there. Sometimes there will be a protest, or there will be a theft, there will be a vandalism, and sometimes the people will show the oppose with the extreme one, like committing suicide at the site, and so and so. So likewise, to avoid such an obsolescence, we require a proper access to be provided towards the site. If we talk about the regulation which has been maintained in the construction industry, this has been put into a documents like the construction, that is design and management regulation. The CDM regulation require the prevention of access to construction site by unauthorized person, and that is stated here as where necessary in the interest of health and safety, a construction site must, so far as is reasonable, practicable, and in accordance with the level of risk posed, comply with either or both of the following: have its perimeter identified by suitable signs and be arranged so that its extent is readily identifiable, or be fenced off. Means here we are going to have banners nearby it, we have a display boards nearby it, we are going to have a what is control line around the construction site, so that it can get completely protected, and it will not have a direct access for any unauthorized person to move in that particular area. Now we have a long list of such an act which was provided in Indian scenario. The Building and Construction Work Welfare Act, SEAS Act 1996, Building and Other Construction Workers Regulation of Employment and Condition of Services Central Regulation Act, based on the compensation which has to be provided after meeting with accidents like insurance company, and their recommendation. Some act has been prepared in reference to the condition of employment and service condition. Building and Other Construction Work Regulation of Employment and Condition of the Service Act 1996, the Fatal Accident Acts 1885, the Factory Acts 1948, the Workmanship Compensation Act 1923, the Employees State Insurance Act 1948, the Central Labor Regulation and Abolition Act 1970, and the National Building Code of India 2005. These are some listed acts which has been prepared on the basis of how to prevent or maintain the safety of the life at a construction site, and the skilled person and non-skilled persons who are involved in it. So what we require at the site is the four basic things. There is a rescue team which is ready for any untoward situation, an emergency center where we can have first aid, and a communication towards the nearby hospital services, and in case of outbreak of fire and other things, we should have a particular fire hazard teams available with us. Now services at construction site requires the electricity supply, the water supply, the drainage system, the site residence, the site office, and the security services. Because at the construction site, sometimes we have to prepare a sheds for laborers. For them, we have to provide a water supply, good water supply scheme. We have to provide a drainage system. Then we have to provide a electricity, as well as the skilled labor should be in contact with the site person. Site person should have a sitting where the discussion and operation works will be discussed. And to control over the site, we can have a security services in terms of approaches, in terms of material supply there, and in terms of recording of the things which are going to be in and out from the site. Now the health services is one more additional features which we require at the site to be provided, so as to have safety towards the life. The other additional facilities which requires are listed here: welcome facilities and entry control, site offices, meeting groups, training and induction facilities, wheel washing facilities, site canteen, offloading facilities, lay down areas, temporary storage and storage areas, subcontractor facilities, car parking, waste management and recycling, fabrication facilities, facilities for the construction of mock up for the test. So with this, I will end up the lecture of today's with reference to the site assess and site services. We'll come up with more articles in for forthcoming lectures. Till then, be at home, be healthy, be safe. Thank you.